Welcome everyone to my review of the NZXT H510 Elite. This case has all of the features that you would expect from a modern case, including vertical GPU, tempered glass, integrated RGB lighting and fan control, included RGB fans on the front panel, and it has some really interesting features such as an integrated reservoir mounting system which also acts as a cable shroud. It's a mid-tower ATX case, but quite compact. The case has aesthetics which are very characteristic of NZXT, clean, understated and subtle, but kind of a modern take on it. And we have this interesting look which is really integral to the case design, the separation between the main compartment and the lower compartment of the case, because the PSU shroud goes right the way through and also to the outside. We have a tempered glass side panel window and also tempered glass on the front panel, which creates the main feature of the case with the RGB fans in behind. So it has two 140mm NZXT AER RGB2 fans included on the front panel. On the back we have 7 expansion slots with also the 2 extra expansion slots for the vertical GPU mount, ventilated expansion slot covers, a 120mm fan mounting position at the top. We have enough ventilation at the bottom for high-end power supplies, and of course, as always, a power supply dust filter underneath. The rear side panel is solid except for some ventilation at the front, which is side ventilation for the front fans. The front fans also have ventilation from underneath, which is dust filtered, and we'll take a look at that shortly. Despite that, ventilation to the front fans is certainly reduced, and that's always the way with these solid front panel cases. It's also very reduced on the top panel, where on a lot of cases we would have ventilation all the way across the top. We only have a position for a single 120/140mm fan at the back there, which would certainly need to be an exhaust. Then at the front we have a power button, USB 3.1 type A and C, and an audio jack. You can see the way the side panels attach is a bit different on this case and a bit unique. The rear side panel actually folds inside of the frame of the case. So you can see that the tempered glass section is removable separately from the bottom section, as I mentioned, and it kind of hooks in and has a single thumb screw in the top left-hand corner. Very solid piece of tempered glass with reinforcing around the outside. Great manufacturing, very high quality all around. So very clean on the inside as well. You know, the aesthetic follows right the way through. And something that really impresses me right from the start is the cable management, the cable routing. Having this shroud, which also acts as a reservoir mount, is just awesome. I love when components have multiple purposes. It just really means that the case is, minimalistic, and it gives it an even more understated aesthetic. And everything is very practical here. We have a nice big access to the CPU backplate, huge holes for the cables for the lower connections across the bottom of the motherboard for the front panel. Also a huge hole across the top for the EPS, no matter what position it's in. And, extra cable routing for vertical PCIe to the GPUs, or you can go around to the side behind the shroud. Lots of length for the 24-pin, so just excellent cable routing all around in this case. We have this removable mounting system for the fans and also potentially a 240/280mm radiator for the front panel. And it's just 2 thumb screws and it comes off very easily. The fans actually have a daisy-chained RGB, which is great because you have no idea how much of a nightmare it is when you have to run separate RGB to every single fan. So you can see the daisy chain there. Looking around the back of the case, this is where things really start to get interesting and exciting. Whenever I receive a new case for review, when I'm getting it out of the box, I'm always excited because I'm hoping to see something new, something different, some sort of innovation. And I found it on this case when I removed the rear side panel. So this is NZXT's new patented cable management design. We have integrated cable channels instead of just the usual cable tie loops and straps. I think we all know where this has come from. It's great to see on a case like this, and the potential is really limitless with this kind of thing. Cable channels that run all the way to the PSU, integrated cable combs. There's just so much that can be done with this. So yeah, this is really exciting to see. Here we have the integrated control hub for the lighting and the fans. On the back of the motherboard tray, we have two 2.5-inch bays, and then underneath we have three 3.5-inch bays, which could also be converted to 2.5-inch. So we have the two in the middle and then also one on the top, and these bays are adjustable from underneath. And then at the front here, we have, as I mentioned, the extra ventilation to the front fans, which is dust filtered, just a very small removable dust filter. Looking underneath, you can see the adjustment for the 3.5-inch bays. The included items are fairly standard. We have an instruction manual, audio splitter, extension for the front panel connections, all of the necessary screws, and some cable ties. So that's about it for my review. I'm going to give this case a 9 out of 10, and it's 2 extra points for innovation and great features. We have some awesome features on this case, and the cable management innovation is just absolutely very exciting, awesome to see. We're going to be giving away both of these cases. Check the video description for how to enter. It's only for some regions, so make sure you check all of the details. Thanks for watching. We have another NZXT case review coming up soon where we're going to be modding the case and hopefully doing a build, so make sure you check that out.